welcome to the aftermath. You've been asking for a nice little review show from the Savage. I'm gonna make it short, make it snappy. Extreme Rules was doing bits tonight. Let's just give him a clap round of applause, WWE. You know, like that. But without further ado, we're gonna get straight into it. I wrote a few notes down because I'm getting a little professional, you know, like that. We started the kickoff show with Kevin Owens versus Buddy Murphy. Well, Murphy because Vince don't like last names, you know, like that. Or he don't like two names. But the match was great. It is what it is. That's about all I got to say. KO finished him with the stunner. I don't like the stunner. I'ma say it every week because I don't like it. You know, like that. Next match on the deck, we had the New Day versus Nakamura and Cesaro. Tag team match for the WWE Tag Team SmackDown Championships. WWE Tag Team SmackDown titles. I said before, I'll say it again, I said on SmackDown, I do not like Cesaro and Nakamura in tag team action. I prefer them to be in singles action. They're both great superstars in their own right, and I think teaming them up kind of devalues them as wrestlers, but you know, it is what it is. They won the match. New SmackDown Tag Team Champions, so all about that. I don't think it hurts the New Day at all. They're 8-time Tag Team Champions, so I think whether they've got the belt or whether they do have the belt, they've got the name already out there. They're already over. They're gonna go on to be in break records, I'm guessing, because I think the Dudley Boys finished on 13. I'm not sure, but they'll go on to break records, so not a problem there. Nothing else to say on that match. Next match up was Nikki Cross versus Bayley. This was for the SmackDown Women's Championship match. The match was okay. The problem is when you're fighting against Nikki, she's smaller than Alexa Bliss, and I think Alexa Bliss is 5 foot, so it looks a bit mismatched, even when the woman she's fighting against isn't too tall. Great wrestler though. She kept the match entertaining all the way through. There was nothing bad about the match. It's one of them ones. The match finished with Bayley passing Sasha Banks the brass knuckles. Well, the boss ring. This is what she passed her, and yeah, from there, she hit her in the stomach with it. I think she hit with the face plant. I don't know if that's what the move's called, but I think it's called the face plant. Straight on the knee, bam, knockout, and then you know, like that. My next matchup after that was Apollo Crews versus MVP. United States title on the line. Yes, you got it. There was no Apollo there. There's the most disappointing part of the night. I was looking forward to seeing Apollo take on MVP, but it just wasn't there. So it's not much more we can say. They said that it was down to his shoulder, his rotator cuff, or something like that. But I'm guessing a bit of touch of the COVID-19. You know, we'll find out if he turns up on Raw. If he does, then I don't know what's going on there. If he doesn't, then it's hit the COVID-19. Anyway, we move on from there. The match where everyone was waiting for, the eye for an eye match. Stupid concept of a match, but they pulled it off great. The match in itself, without that gimmick, was great. Perfect. Fast-paced. Rey Mysterio was on top form. This guy seems to be going reversing in age. Benjamin Button disease, you know, like that. Seth Rollins just does what Seth Rollins does. Great heel work. If you ever watch any aspiring wrestlers out there, watch these kind of matches. Watch how, I'll get onto Sasha later, but watch how they work as heels. It's great, and it just kind of shows that some people benefit from being a heel. It brings out their stronger side, you know, like that. But anyway, the match started. Seth came in with pliers, ready to rip out man's eye. Tried to take out Ray's eye with pliers, pen, kendo stick, steel rod, steel chair, steel stairs, his thumb, you know, like that. All of that. Couple curb stomps in there. Ray hit Seth through the curb stomp. At one point, Ray looked like he was going to win the match. He actually got Seth's eye on the stairs, and you could see it digging in. Seth had a big gash underneath his eye, but eventually he hit him with the curb stomp. Seth drags Ray over, digs him in, and then Ray just stops moving, and you can hear him screaming, and then you can see the eyeball protruding through the hand. Seth starts throwing up. It was just perfect how it happened. I think Dominic should have came out a little bit early, you know, because you're watching, you know that your dad's eye was about to come out. So, but I have no complaints. In fact, I think this was the better way to go. The CGI stuff that everyone was talking about wouldn't have worked. Someone's eye being fully removed from the nerve and stuff wouldn't have worked either, unless we're never going to see him again. But the way kayfabe is nowadays, someone will remove the Ryan and you see him on YouTube having an interview with 2 eyes, so it don't really work like that. I've seen in basketball when people fall over and their eyes popped out and he stood on nerve, he can be put back in. So well done to them two. They killed that match. On from there we had Sasha versus Asuka. This match I was looking forward to. Can I just say, in terms of wrestling, this was a masterclass from both women. So on point, it was unreal. It's high spots. Sasha hit Asuka with like a beautiful Eddie Guerrero style frog splash. It went on to this match where I think Bayley tried to interfere. She threw the belt, distracted the ref, and then Sasha picked up the belt. And then the ref told Sasha to put the belt down, and then while he was doing that, Kairi Sane passed Asuka that missed, and she went to spit in Sasha's face, and she hit the referee. Sasha knocked her, and then Bayley come back in the ring, hit Asuka with the title, knocked her out. There was no ref. And then Bayley took the ref's top, put it on, and counted the 1, 2, 3. And Sasha became the Raw Women's Champion, which we know it will get overturned tonight on Raw. I'm guessing that what's going to happen is it will go down as a disqualification where Sasha wins the match, but Asuka keeps the title. So it's kind of one of them. And from there we had Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler. Out of all the matches on the card, this is the match I wasn't looking forward to. Not in terms of anything bad, I just wasn't invested because the whole Dolph Ziggler storyline's come out of like a week's worth, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, they have a history, but it just come out of nowhere. And I still reckon this should have been built towards Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre at Extreme Rules. But once the match started, and Drew said the stipulation, it was an Extreme Rules match only for Dolph Ziggler, and Drew had to follow everything like it was a regular match. So Drew could still get counted out. Drew couldn't use any weapons. It was another great match. It really showed that Drew could be a great champion. I'm not going to go back on what I said completely. I wasn't investing myself as Drew as a champion, not because he's rubbish, just because he's not my favourite wrestler. That's all. But he's got the look. He's great in the ring. He pulled off this match perfect. Just everything he'd done in that match. He had everything against him, and he come up with the Claymore. The Claymore actually came from Dolph Ziggler being ahead in the match, and he couldn't beat Drew, so he started throwing all the chairs out, all the weapons that he had in the ring, he threw them out, and he started to be very cocky. And when he turned around, bow, Claymore, head gone. And that was the end of that match, like that. And then the final match, which they might as well stop calling it a match, just call it something else, but the swamp match. Invested, of course we all were, because we just want to see more Bray. That's all we want to see. You know what I mean? I feel like a bit of the mystery went from The Fiend after The Fiend had the match against Goldberg, yeah. But match started, they turned up at the swamp. Bray was sitting there in his rocking chair, Braun goes for him, disappears. There was like Wyatt family members around attacking Braun. Braun ended up fighting himself at one point, he got tied up, and then Bray brought someone in like Sister Abigail kind of cloak. You know when Bray turned into Sister Abigail, you know, when he was doing transgender Bray, and he kind of looked like that. This one didn't look like Alexa Bliss at the time. I was looking because she looked too tall. She had a snake. The serpent bit Braun, and then he ended up in the grass next to a fire. More Wyatt family members came. He kicked one of them into the fire. They set on fire. They ran off, burning, looking like Jason out of Halloween. You know, like that. His name Jason. It's Michael Myers, isn't it? Shambles. You know when Michael Myers got set on fire, or when Kane got set on fire in the Inferno match in 97, 8? It looked like that. So it was a bit of a fun moment, and then a voice came out of nowhere, mysterious voice. Everyone's thinking Sister Abigail. To see the cloak from far away, I'm like, Braun, don't do it. It's a distraction. Walks forward, and the distraction is it's Alexa Bliss telling Braun, trying to draw him in, saying you've always wanted me, blah blah blah, come home with me and stuff. It was a gimmick, and he fell for it. And then Bray came out the back and attacked him, and the fight carried on. He got by the swamp. Braun kicks Bray into the swamp, and he thinks it's over. They're drowning each other. Gets out. I thought the actual whole pay-per-view was over because it had the copyright logo at the end, and I wasn't very happy about it, to be honest. I was like, this can't finish like that. And then Braun was looking into the water. He said it's over. Mandible Claw comes, takes him in, drowns him. Both men are down. We don't see anything, and then the water starts bubbling, turns red, and the Fiend pops out. Now, I will say, you know when the Fiend pops out at the end, look back at it, it don't look good. It doesn't look good on the, you know the screen does that mysterious change in that. He should have done the creepy. If anyone knows how like alligators come out of the water, the screwed, but we should have done that. Looked around, went back in. At one point though, when that was happening, just before the water started bubbling, Bray comes up as the last person, and he sounds like he's screaming for Bray, which is a weird one. Now you can take this concept however you want, and that's what the beauty of Bray does. He lets our minds go and we start thinking of all these things. And I'm actually thinking that the reason why the Fiend pops out and Bray and Braun are down there could be the fact that the Fiend is saying, I'm killing this Bray Wyatt character. Just saying, it's like you can't get the job done as this Eater of Worlds. Stay under here. And kind of like if anyone's a fan of Marvel, if you're not, yeah, if anyone's a fan of the Avengers movies, if anyone remembers at the end when it goes to Thanos after a while, he gets fed up and then he goes, I'll do it myself, and puts the gauntlet on. It's kind of that moment where the Fiend's like, I'll do it myself, because up until now the Fiend hasn't fought Braun. He's fought Mr. Rogers Bray, he's fought Eater of Worlds Bray, so, like that. But comment below and let me know what you guys think. I'll be commenting in the comment section after. I've got all day to comment back, so let me know what you think in the